Elon Musk is selling a perfume called Burnt Hair. U.S. clinics are offering free vasectomies. And mountain unicycling is actually a thing in Colorado's rugged hills. These are the weird stories for Thursday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian in Los Angeles. I'm Jonesy, the host of Weird AF News. You are you, and I'm so glad you're here. Mr. Elon Musk is selling a new perfume called Burnt Hair. Yeah, who wants to smell like burnt hair? I've always wanted to smell like burnt hair. I love that smell. Oh, I've always thought to myself, if I could just smell like burnt hair or be around a woman who smells like burnt hair. Finally, without burning someone's actual eyebrows, you can smell like burnt hair. The world's richest man is Elon Musk. Did you know? Well, apparently he's not rich enough. He's like, I need to branch out and find a way to make more money. He is trying to capitalize on this quirky product that he invented. He launched a perfume called Burnt Hair. Burnt hair. Who really wants to smell like burnt hair? I'm very curious. Apparently, some people want to smell like burnt hair because he sold 10,000 bottles of burnt hair and he earned $1 million in only a few hours. Now, we have a quote from Mr. Musk in the story. I've never quoted him in an episode of Weird AF News, so let's try an impression. I can't promise anything, though. Here we go. Well, with a name like mine, getting into the fragrance business was inevitable. Why did I even fight it for so long? I'm crazy. All right, that's not a great Elon Musk impression, but yeah, it is an impression of a nerd. He describes himself now on Twitter as a perfume salesman. He's always joking on Twitter. Ha ha, Elon, you're so funny. The website description of this perfume describes it as the essence of repugnant desire. And each bottle is $100. You can pre-order. They're going to start shipping in the first quarter of 2023 after they find enough people to allow him to light their hair on fire. Previous brainwaves have included Tesla's own brand tequila as well. He launched a tequila in 2020 and a pair of short shorts. I don't know why. Short shorts, huh? I guess with your burnt hair perfume and your short shorts, you know, you're going to hit it pretty well on the dating circuit. Didn't he also invent like a flamethrower? I thought he was selling flamethrowers. This guy is very strange. He also started a boring company. He was trying to make a large tunnel. Do you remember? He was tunneling. Oh, it does say flamethrower. He was selling $500. That was in early 2018. He raised $10 million selling flamethrowers. I don't know why people are allowed to just buy flamethrowers in the world, but apparently we're okay with that. He also sold 50,000 Boring Company hats as well. Mr. Musk's ambitions over the years have ranged from colonizing Mars to creating a new sustainable energy economy. And in the process, he's built some rockets and SpaceX. This guy just has creative ADD, doesn't he? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this burnt hair perfume is not going to be a hit. But I don't know what the public wants. Gwyneth Paltrow sold a lot of those vagina-smelling candles, so who knows? Maybe people want the burnt hair Musk. I would have, if he had spoken to me, I would have said, Elon, go with the smell of Mars. Do like a Mars perfume, cologne, deodorant line. You know, people probably want to smell like Mars. Here's the thing. No one knows what Mars smells like. You could make it anything, you know? Now, if I was going to invent and sell a cologne or a musk, it would be called Softball Field. And it would smell like a softball field. When I smell a softball field on Sunday morning, when I typically play my doubleheaders, it puts me in such a happy place in my head. The smell of a softball field. What do you guys think? And what is your ideal scent, if you could invent one? Call my show, 646-450-2012. This is what we're here for, guys. Yay! U.S. clinics are offering free vasectomies. How about that? Amid a reported surge in demand for vasectomies lately, prompted mostly by the U.S. Supreme Court ruling which removed the right to abortion, Planned Parenthood and a physician with a mobile vasectomy clinic will offer 60 free vasectomies over 3 days in the cities of St. Louis, Springfield, and Joplin, Missouri in the first week of November. All right, anyone living in that area want a free little snippy snip? Now, in this story, we have a Dr. Gorin, who's a wonderful human being. He has a mobile clinic. He's going to offer vasectomies out of a van, I think. I don't recommend getting a vasectomy in the back of a van or on someone's back porch. But hey, desperate times cause for desperate measures, as they say. He has a vehicle that he's calling the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker. Hey, this guy's got a great sense of humor, man. I love this dude. He's going to be on the road offering 40 free vasectomies in towns in Iowa. He plans to offer discounted vasectomies at his regular clinic in the Des Moines area as well. This guy's all about the vasectomies. Dr. Snip Snip's taking it on the road. These efforts are part of World Vasectomy Day, which now includes a year-round focus and a host of activities in November. Oh, I had no idea. World Vasectomy Day. I should be a guest speaker for World Vasectomy Day because I've had one, and I have a joke about it that people might enjoy, you know. Dr. Gorin is a member of the Medical Advisory Board for World Vasectomy Day, and he offered vasectomies last year at Planned Parenthood in St. Louis. The effort was so popular, the decision was made to expand it to other cities, even before the toppling of Roe v. Wade. In July, Planned Parenthood of the St. Louis region in southwest Missouri performed 42 vasectomies compared to only 10 in the same month last year. Female sterilizations also rose to 18 from 3. Now, Planned Parenthood does not have national sterilization numbers available. However, its national webpage has seen a 53% increase in vasectomy information searches over the last 100 days, a spokesperson said. Data from Google Trends also shows that searches for vasectomies spiked after the leak of the draft majority opinion in Dobbs, but reached their highest level after the court released its decision in June. That Dobbs was the overturning of Roe v. Wade, if you're not aware. A urologist in the Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida area says that patient registrations tripled immediately after Dobbs, with many of the patients surprisingly under the age of 30. Another urologist in St. Louis, who does about 35 vasectomies a month, said that before the decision, patients waited about a month for the procedure. The wait is now up to 3 months. And thankfully, lawmakers are responding to this trend. A California law that will take effect in 2024 will make vasectomies cheaper by allowing patients with private insurance plans to get the procedure at no additional cost. Yay! We have a quote from Margaret Baum, the medical director of Planned Parenthood in the St. Louis region. She says, I think people are afraid, number one, about abortion not being accessible, which is a very real and legitimate fear, and in the reality for a large part of folks in our country. And then I think people are also afraid that what else might be coming down the pipeline next. No pun intended, pipeline. I'm so pleased to read this kind of story. I like that we're moving into this direction. It's like the culture's adjusting to the stupidity of lawmakers, and we do what we can. And Planned Parenthood is providing a much-needed resource for this. Totally support Planned Parenthood. In fact, if you want to donate to a great organization, which is, in my opinion, they're doing amazing things. Planned Parenthood is it, man. I love Planned Parenthood. I go there for my STD checks regularly. They give me free condoms on the way out. The girls are so nice and supportive. I've gone there for some other reasons that we won't talk about on the show, but they're awesome over there. Oh, goodness. I brought them back coffees. Like, you girls are doing God's work. I could go on and on about my own vasectomy, but I'm just going to address a question that I get fairly often with it, and that is, does anything come out when you when you do the deed? And because some people aren't aware, they think that maybe just some hot air comes out. No, everything comes out. It's just there's no sperm in it. So in case you were wondering, a lot of you probably already knew that, but believe it or not, people aren't aware of that. They do ask me that. The other thing they ask me is about the anesthesia. I think a lot of people assume that they put you under when they cut open your genitals. They do not. You are absolutely awake for the whole thing, which is a little alarming. They do a local anesthesia. A large needle goes in there too, which is pretty scary. But so no, you don't go under, and I didn't need to. And the recovery for me was not so great. I couldn't sit for 2 days, and I couldn't run for about 3 weeks, which means I couldn't play softball, What a strange excuse. Can you play softball this weekend? Nah, bro. I just had my genitalia mangled. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Mountain unicycling is a thing in Colorado's rugged hills. You ever gone hiking up a mountain and seen someone riding a mountain bike? That seems natural. Ever seen someone riding a unicycle in the mountains? Well, you might see this in Colorado Springs. And these are not clowns on the unicycle. They're regular mountain bikers, but they prefer the same rough and steep terrain, but without one of the wheels. Yes, a cross between that pure cyclist and that performer that you see at the circus. Might seem strange, but it is a thing in Colorado, apparently. These are mountain unicyclists. They are members of a curious tribe simply referred to as Muni. They are putting an extreme twist on the most whimsical of devices. You can see them hopping from boulder to boulder, rolling over tree roots, catching air from ledges, and flying down chutes and gullies. If you haven't seen them, it's because there's not very many. They say here there's more unicyclists than you think, though, but as far as people riding on rough terrain, it's a pretty small universe. But the numbers are climbing. They are making off-ready unicycles that have fatter tires than in your normal unicycle, and these sales represent close to 70% at the leading retailer unicycle.com. So they're selling a lot of off-road unicycles. Never thought I'd see that day. The founder of unicycle.com says that everybody who rides bikes wants to feel like a kid again, correct? Well, the next step to that is the unicycle. And as for mountain unicycling, turns out Colorado is something like Disneyland. Here's a quote from one of these Muni riders. I would say the Front Range is probably the best place in the country to be if you like mountain unicycling. Not just because of the abundance of the trails, but because there's a good number of riders, relatively speaking. There's even a Facebook page called Colorado Front Range Unicyclists. They have over 200 plus members. They got a quote from someone named Williams, who lives in Denver, who's been unicycling on the mountains for more than 15 years. Williams says, "It's one of the most physically grueling fun activities I've ever done, because you never stop pedaling. If you don't pedal, shit, you don't go. And if you find yourself in a situation where you can't exactly dismount, you have to go and push yourself through. That's how you got to do it on a unicycle." And of course, there's a lot of falling involved. Yeah, been falling a lot on the mountain. There's a guy in the story named Jamie Mossengren, an elite mountain unicyclist. He actually left his 9-to-5 job to live in a van. He opted for the freedom of the road and a greater freedom of mountain unicycling, which is his passion. He's known as the unicycling unicorn, traveling the world for competitions and rallies and long multi-day ventures, just like on the Colorado Trail. Jamie says while he's mountain unicycling, he often gets a lot of stares and the rolling of the eyes from hikers and whatnot. He says, yeah, you get those hardcore people, they're not into it. They think it's ridiculous. I just laugh, life is too short to take yourself too seriously, you know what I mean? So get on a unicycle, get on a mountain, man, come on. Yeah, I agree. Live your best life, man. You want a unicycle on a mountain? It seems cool. I've seen people unicycle on a small wire across like a mountain gorge, you got people that do that. So why not just take your unicycle right on the dirt road, hop on some rocks and stuff? Seems like fun to me. I do enjoy hiking. If I ever hiked up a mountain and then was passed by someone on a unicycle, I would just assume my mushrooms kicked in. Yay! At the closet, the podcast closet, catch Jonesy recording in his undies in the closet, the podcast closet. Right? Come on, song parodies. That's how we do it, guys. Thank you for being with me for this episode of Weird AF News, brah. Today's Thursday. That means tomorrow is Friday. we're going to do Florida Friday. So if you come across any Florida news that's quirky, well, pretty much all of Florida news is quirky, just email me, funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can drop the link in my Instagram, as in a DM, slide into my DMs at funnyjones. I would appreciate that. We'll try and do the best Florida Friday episode that we can tomorrow, and I'm feeling very good. So it should be a good one. I've actually felt like the last couple of days I'm putting out some good material. And I did get an email from Nurse Kim from Philly, who told me that the podcast was kick-ass today, meaning yesterday's show. She said, thank God, too, because while you had COVID, Jonesy, the show kind of sucked, man. Most of that stuff wasn't even closet-worthy. You must have recorded that shit right out of your bed. Yeah, I could barely get out of my bed and get into the closet, Kev. I was doing the best I can. And I was listening to them because I always listen to the episodes afterward. Maybe the next day or something, I'll listen to the previous day's episode just to make sure I'm on top of my game. And those episodes were horrible. I just was so embarrassed about them. But what was I going to do? Not do the show? That was my other option. I'm I'm either going to go 2 weeks with nothing or just do the best I can, feeling like crapola with a brain that isn't working. I'm still not at 100%, but I agree with you, Kim, totally. And I totally will own up to that and just say, hey, everybody, I'm sorry. I did the best I can. All right. Well, lastly, if you'd like to call the show and express yourself, the number is 646-450-2012. If you'd like to support the show, you go to weirdafnews.com and click on Buy Jonesy a Coffee, or click on the Patreon banner. Learn more about how to support the show through the Patreon and get extra Weird AF content from yours truly. How about that? I posted a video in the Patreon of me lawn bowling up at the San Francisco Lawn Bowling Club. That was fun stuff. So you get extra content such as that. Why wouldn't you want that? Don't you want to peep that stuff? Peep it, guys. Yes. All right. I'll see you tomorrow for Florida Friday. Yes, that's right. Don't miss it, guys. Don't miss it. You're going to want to start your weekend with some Florida upstanding citizen behavior, right? What could go wrong at a Florida Taco Bell? Find out tomorrow.